everyone. Welcome to another Sunday school session. Tonight it is going to be a specifically made poppet. So basically, I'm going to explain my ingredients and what I will be using them for in this poppet making ritual. Welcome. Hi. Okay. So for starters, I have cloth. Now, a lot of people think you need a lot of stuff to make a poppet, but you really don't. All right, so I have a 15 by 15 black cloth. This one is, on the darker side of things, so that is why most of this is in that theme. So I have my cloth. It's all you need to make a poppet. You don't have to sew. This is a no-sew poppet lesson. Okay? And I have a little thing to make a little head. This is what I'm going to wrap certain things in, and you'll see what that is when I get there. I also have colt's foot leaf. Now, just so you know, I am going to post the steps that I did for everybody. It's available to you guys. This is something that is in my family. It's a wonderful thing. I've made a lot of poppets. They can be used for a lot of different things. It's not always bad and negative. This just so happens to be that way. But, you can make healing poppets, love poppets, all sorts of fun little love and light poppets. This one is for those who, and just so you know, it is a little bit windy, and my sign keeps hitting the shop, and it's really quite scary. So if I jump, there's some entertainment for you. Okay, so I have my cloth, and then my little head thing, colt's foot. I have some bone dust. I have some graveyard dirt. This one is Devil's Chair graveyard dirt, and then this one is, I'm pointing at these like you can even see this. I have jars of things. And so this one is suicide dirt. Then I have some wine, some vinegar. I'm going to be using some of the alcohol that is in this lovely jar of snakeness. This is my special reserve that I use in extreme cases, I guess. I have my little circle mirrors, and these are great for blinding your poppet from who did the work. So people can't use divination to find out who did this to them. Gosh, when I say it out loud, it doesn't sound so great. Hi. So then I have some belladonna. Now, as with all spells, make sure you're being responsible with any kind of mixing of things. And if you know that you have a poisonous herb or something, obviously you should have gloves. These come in handy. So, and that's when you're mixing your innards. We're making a little person. It's so much fun. I feel like Frankenfurter. I want to make a wool man. All right, so I do have some goofer dust I want to put in there. The actual spell calls for other things. What are some of those? Okay, so I have colt's foot leaf, bone dust. This one is the suicide dirt. It came from a grave of someone that has committed suicide. Devil's Chair graveyard dirt. So these are the more maleficent type. Malevolent, not Maleficent. Maleficent. Malevolent. I don't know why I said that. Okay, it's been a long day. So there's that, and I have wine. This wine is specifically called Crusher, which I thought was pretty cool. I have my black twine. I have pork, which is going to make some of the head part, which is great. So I am going to give a little bit of this is going to be a few steps that I'm going to have to do in this working. So tonight we're only going to do the first step, which is I'm making the lady poppet. Now the lady poppet, we're just going to stuff her full of all sorts of fun, bad things. And also with workings like this, you should definitely just be prepared to cleanse yourself afterward You definitely it's something, you know, you shouldn't always do negative workings. You know, what kind of person does that make you if you're if that's all you do? But, you know, I say go for it. If you need to, I say 100% go for it. Everyone is all about sticking up for themselves, right? Well, you can do it spiritually as well. And if you feel like you have been wronged, I mean, you know in your heart of hearts what the truth is, you know, and it is sometimes it has to be done. And that's it. Yes, this is awesome. This is what I'm talking about. So later in the week I'll do another video which will go into the other stuff. So first I'm making the lady, and then I am calling a spirit back into a previously made poppet just to make sure it's working properly. And then I'm going to take both of them, and then we're going to put them in this, and we're going to bind them all up together in one crazy, crazy little chair. So, and then I'm probably going to hang them at my tree. I'm not sure exactly how this is, I'll get there. We'll get there. So tonight we're just going to focus on making this fun-filled bad juju puppet. And I need one more ingredient. Hold on. One more. Unfortunately, I don't have a jar of that, so this one's in a little baggie. And that is Proctor's Ledge dirt. And this, I think, is very important. Proctor's Ledge, if you don't know, it is where the actual Salem witch hangings happened. Well, the chair is just going to put them nicely together. It's going to stick them in here. It's one of those, it's almost like a devil's chair sort of reference. It's going to keep them together in this, and it's going to bind them together and harness them. It's going to hold them, which is wonderful. But yeah, so Proctor's Ledge is where the actual witch hangings happened in Salem, and it is behind a Walgreens. And yeah, so I got dirt from there. And this is great for unjust enemies. So these are enemies that you don't know what they're coming at you for absolutely no reason, and you want justice. You feel like you're being wronged, and you want justice. So I'm going to use this dirt. So yay, I have 3 dirts. That's good. I do have one more dirt over there, but that's serial killer dirt, and I don't want to put that. Yeah, we're just gonna. Should I put serial killer dirt in there? Well, I might as well. I kind of like the number 3. We'll just stick with 3. We'll do that. All right. So that's pretty much it in Wormwood. Where's my? Oh, I have stuff up here too, on this plate. So I have some wormwood. I have these are honey locust thorns that I just get off the tree in the yard. And I have some sulfur match heads, and I have wormwood. So yes, I just want to explain to you. I have some black arts salts as well. Like I said, you really just kind of put everything in there that goes with your purpose. So if you are doing a different kind of purpose, obviously you're going to use the herbs that pertain to that. You're not going to use these malevolent. I can't believe I said Maleficent earlier. That was pretty crazy. Yeah. You know, if it's a love poppet, you're going to want to use like rose petals, and you can use sumac berries and chamomile and lavender. Well, this one's kind of a complicated story. It's really, really complicated, but, how can I word this? Yeah, well, you have to make sure you're putting the right ingredients in. I want this person to be stuck with this person. I want this person that we're creating tonight. I want these people to be stuck together. That is my intention. Yes, Maleficent. Well, you know how I feel about the movie Maleficent, but I love Maleficent in the actual, what is it, Snow White? Yeah. So, let's see. Shall we get started? So I don't need this. I just wanted to, kind of piece it together for you guys as I'm going. Yes, sometimes it definitely is needed. So I'm going to take this off the table so it's less stuff that you have to see on the table. I am not going to do, I don't want to put the person's name out there, so I'm not going to be doing this. This isn't going to be my 100% real ritual. I'm just going to show you guys what I will be doing. I am going to build it now. I am going to put the picture of the person. I'm going to cover up the name. I just don't want anything, you know. I can go into it, just not on camera. If you know what I mean. Yes. But yeah, I can definitely explain. I can explain more in person. All right, so the first step, and I am going to be reading off a piece of paper because it's always easier that way. So that way I can keep my thoughts together. And actually, my brother did a great thing and put all of our family recipes in a database for us all to be able, not us all, but my family, to be able to access at any time and just grab spells, which is great. Yeah, right. Definitely. See the empty poppets. You can fill them up a little bit with the stuffing, but they can just, like the limbs and stuff, I would say, but then leave the stitching open on the top. Because I had to pull apart a few of your poppets in order to do some poppets. And yes, my sister here, Michelle Cullen. I feel like a weather person. She is the poppet witch. She makes the poppet. Ooh, uncovered the name. She makes the poppets for all of us. It's been a long day, and I haven't had a drink in a month, so here we go. And people are messing with me, obviously. So the first thing that we would be doing is, I'm just going to read it off the paper. Within a charge fashioned from a piece of black cloth, even better if it came from the person, which I don't have, so that's fine. We're going to put some colt's foot. Now the original recipe calls for henbane, which I do not have, so I replaced that with belladonna. Always just put replacements in there if you need to. Yes, definitely. I mean, usually you want people to keep away from each other, right? But not in this case. I'll go more into detail when I explain the second part of it, which is the already made poppet. Okay, so in this little headpiece, you're going to put colt's foot leaf, which I have, henbane, which I don't. I'm using belladonna, black pepper. Well, I don't know why I don't have that out here, but I don't have that out here, and we're just going to skip it. But I do have gopher dust, so we'll put that in there. Graveyard dirts, which I'll use some from all 3. Wormwood, which I have. Sulfur, which are my match heads. That's the closest I have to sulfur. And poppy seed, which I don't have, so I'm just going to skip that. Mixed with red wine vinegar glaze. So I'm going to go ahead and just use red wine and vinegar. Okay, so we're going to make this little headpiece. And we're just starting with the head, okay? This is going to go inside the bigger black cloth. This is a smaller one, just to make the head. This is, you know. And then we're going to bind that with a black string and seal it completely, which we're not doing with black unguent. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Unguent. So that is basically a paste that you make from a bunch of different cool stuff, which I do have the recipe for that. And we can, I think we can share it. And yeah, we're going to skip that because I don't have all the ingredients to make that right now. And this was kind of last minute and in a pinch. So we're just going to skip doing that. What I will do is I'll anoint it with Hecate oil. That's going to be that. So bind with a black string. Create a name paper with a photo of the victim. Write and say the following on the back of the photo. All right. So It's this big long thing. Do you want me to say it or do you want me to just post it? Because I'm just going to be writing it. So we're going to write the stuff on the back of the paper. Hold on. And then we will stuff the body with a destructive sympathetic filler. For example, if the person smokes, fill it with cigarettes. If they have unhealthy eating habits, use greasy, unhealthy food. If they use drugs, fill it with pills such as aspirin. Since it's symbolic, that will be just fine. And we wear gloves while we mix the filler, okay, with the graveyard dirt, black pepper, sulfur, wormwood, henbane, which will be the belladonna. This calls for a splash of gorgon venom, which I don't have, so that's why I'm using. This is alcohol in a snake. This has always done me good, and for some reason, this is the only snake of all my snakes that has ever turned alcohol purple. So that's purple. I don't know if you can tell. I wasn't even looking at that the whole time. I could have been holding it up. I don't even know. So I'm going to use that and hexing oil, which again I don't have, so I'm going to be using my Hecate oil. Thorns and chopped raw pork. And then we will create the head charge. Take a chunk of the raw pork that is suitable for the size of the head of the poppet. Cut a slit into the middle. Okay, so I don't know why I said this was the head, because it's not. This actually is, hold on, we'll get there. Take a chunk of the raw pork that is suitable size of the head of the poppet. Cut a slit into the middle to be stuffed with the name thing that we put in there. In some of the mixture of all these fun, cool ingredients. And then we tightly wrap it. Just the head. This will be in this, the big cloth. You'll see in a second. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put the camera down just a little bit so you can see. We're going to tightly wrap that with black string and coat it with the black unguent, which I don't have. So we're going to be doing the oil instead. Drive in 2 large thorns. Any source will do. Nails or pins to represent eyes. So that'll be that. All right. So we are going to get, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to put, okay, we'll use this. Okay. Let's get to work, guys. All right, so first I am going to write all this stuff really quickly on this little square of paper. Sorry guys, I probably should have did this beforehand. And if anyone has any questions, go ahead and say them. Not say them, but write them. Yeah, right? It's so much fun. We all need to do this. I don't think I had enough room. And like I said, we will post what I am writing right now. Okay, well, I ran out of room, so I'm gonna have to flip it over and write the rest on this side. Almost done. Done. Don't see the face. Okay, so I wrote all my stuff. Okay, so this I am going to fold. And it's all folded. So a poppet, it's just a little person. You're making a little person that you're going to be filling with your intentions. So usually it is a specific person, even if it's yourself. You can make a poppet of yourself. You can make, this specific one that we're making right now is more of a malevolent poppet. So this one is going to be on the darker side of things. And with any of this, obviously, you know, it's up to you what you believe and how you practice. If someone wants to do workings like this, it is no one's place to put anyone down for this or to whatever. I'm just saying, I know myself and at least half the board can all stand together on the fact that sometimes you need to work with the darker magic. There's a balance. There's a balance in everything. Especially when you know someone has wronged you in such a way that is detrimental to your character. Like someone that's trying to tear down your character. Yes, and it is sometimes known as a voodoo doll. I mean, a poppet is more of the cloth, or yeah, more of the cloth. Voodoo dolls can be made out of candles, sticks. But yeah, it's all pretty much the same. So now, I don't need that. Now we are going to start building the head. All right, first we're gonna make our mixture. Scratch that. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And we should all feel that way. We should all be able to dabble. Yes, definitely. You're welcome. And that's why I love Sunday school sessions, because you never know what you could possibly learn, you know? And that's a good thing. Learning is a good thing. And with this quarantine, you know, it's a great chance for people to do what they got to do. All right, so I'm going to put my cemetery oak, which is great for working with the darker arts of Hecate. And it's from the cemetery. And I already said it's a cemetery oak, so you probably already knew that. All right, so we'll put some of that in there. Some wormwood. We'll put the sulfur in as needed. Okay. Belladonna. Guess I need that. Yes, definitely. Right. Oh, crazy noises. Seen some crazy stuff in this shop. With good, there is bad, and this video will be on our public entity page, so everyone's going to see this, because it's, you know, it's not all fluffy, light, and light. It's not. Sometimes you have to roll up your sleeves and get in the dirt. So this one's the suicide dirt, which I don't really need my hand for. This one is the devil's chair. Exactly. Exactly. I just said that right before you came in, too. Because it is. It's all about the balance. There's balance in all things. And sometimes when someone needs to be given something like this, it's just what needs to be done. I'm going to get these off the bench so I can work freer. More free? Not freer. Sorry, Mom. I know Mom's watching since we're all quarantined. Right, Proctor's Ledge dirt. Might as well just use the whole thing. Awesome. All right, what are we missing? Okay, so we're gonna use some goofer. Oh, you know what I do have? Yes, let me touch everything after I put gloves on. All right, hold on. I have to take my glove off. Paw through things. I'm sure I'll make things crash down. All right, I guess I'm just gonna skip that. I thought I had a hexing blend. Oh, wait a minute, found it. Found it. It's right on top. That's so nice. Yeah. All right, so we'll use some of this lovely hexing blend. Ooh, look how dark it is. This hexing blend is actually made by the Voodoo Store. I stand by their recipes 100%. I really do, though. And you really, and I'm not pushing you just to them. I'm just saying you have to trust your source if you're getting a pre-made blend. You really do. And like I said, I trust them 100%. I'll recommend them to anybody. But that's what I personally use. If I use pre-made blends, I would never go to anyone else. Even, you know, just put some of this in there just because it's black arts. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and mix it up. Oh, this is nice. The hexing blend, lots of bad things. Not too bad. I don't personally know their recipes offhand, and I don't know if they want me to share their recipes. But it is the hexing. Usually you would use this in a candle fixing situation, but we're gonna improvise and use it for this. All right. Oh, of course. Oh wait, that's not one. Wrong thing. All right. Oh, I didn't put bone dust. Bone dust. All right. Same with like the goofer dust. That's theirs as well. All right, I think we put everything in our mix. Yay! Okay, so we're going to take our, oh, except for the venom, which we'll put that on after. The venom. It's not venom. It is actually, the alcohol. It's alcohol, guys. It's alcohol. We already know this. I already talked about this. Okay, so we're taking our chunk of raw pork that's suitable for the size of a human head. I would say that's good. Now we're going to make a nice little stuffy place. Oh, there you go. Jeff's watching. There's the answer. All right, so you take your knife and you cut into the pork. No, I'm just joking. But you do. You cut into the pork. And this is to create the head. You take the raw chunk of pork. And any kind of pork, like if you have pork chop. Yeah. Right? The recipes are fabulous. All right, so we are going to stuff this lovely picture in. With a little bit of this. Oh yeah, you got to put your thingy in a diamond shape. All right. And you're going to put this in the center of the diamond. Okay. So that's going to be her head. Okay. And we'll put one little piece of sulfur in that one. And some of this. Ooh, okay. Some of this lovely stuff. A little goes a long way. All right. We are tying this off to make a head. Now this is arts and crafts. to make arms. The arms don't have to be filled with anything. We're just making arms because you obviously are making it as human-like as possible. Women are a little bit easier than men because you can leave the end of it open like a skirt. With the men, you have to make his genitalia. Just to give that lifelike feature, you know? Oh. I know, I don't have your guys' setup. If the phone falls, it's Jeff's fault. Good? Okay. There we go. Look, it looks like one of those little ghosts at Halloween. Alright. So we have it like this. So we do it in the center. Open the points of the cloth to create a triangle shape. Right? We're in a triangle shape. Triangle. Then fold the left and the right point to the center so the points touch. And wrap each side with black string to create arms. I feel like that's huge though. Did I do this not centered? Alright. Mine always come out in Jeff's word, it's janky. But it's the idea that, you know, it's your intent that really matters, not 100% what it looks like. It's good enough for me, honestly. It's going to serve its purpose. It might not look the best, but it'll get the job done. That's fine. Whatever. I'm sure Jeff will pick on me for it. And we'll be filling the inside. And really, this is like the easiest way to make a no-sew poppet. And like I said, you can make them out of anything. And obviously, when you're making the poppets, you should definitely be trying your best to match the color of it to your intent, you know? And like I said, it doesn't have to look perfect. And no, I'm not just saying that because mine doesn't. Can I turn the flash on? Is this too dark for you guys? I wonder. Oh, I probably should have had that on the whole time. Huh? Alright, so we have our little arms. My junky little doll. Alright, so alright, so I forgot to do the little card at the beginning. So basically we'll just be, we're just using the mixture that we made plus some of this lovely, well, we'll put that in the innards part. Okay, so just a little splash is all I put in red wine. And a very small. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And now, Renee, tonight I'm not doing that step because what I'm going to do is call the spirit back into the other poppet. And that's, I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that with the class as well. Yes, definitely. It's so much fun. I absolutely love all of this. It's fun teaching. It's fun learning. All of it's very, very fun. you know? All right, so we're just making a little anointed charge. We're just gonna bind it up. Don't get your gloves in there. And I'm gonna put some oil on it. Get off of there. Okay. So all right, so for this specific one, I don't have any of the destructive sympathetic filler because I'm not sure of this person. So I'm just going to stuff it with the things that I have, which is this amazing mix right here. We're just going to, it's like Mildred Hubble. Let's just put it all in there. We're gonna put it all in there. And then we're going to chunk up some of this meat. Ha ha ha. Hot dogs. Hot dog, hot dog. Hot diggity dog. Yeah, I went there. Okay. I'm also going to put, that's all I need for my gloves. Oh my gosh, I hurt. That looked painful, me bending down, huh? Because it was. Okay, so we got that. I didn't even put the oil on that charge. Oh yeah, see? Put the oil on it. Yep, I just remembered. And I just got rid of my stupid gloves. I remembered before I looked and saw the comment, so that's a good thing. Oh my goodness. Like this is our president of the group. She is forgetting everything. Yes, I am, okay? And usually it is the black paste. We're just going to call it black paste. That's right. All right, so the oil is, in fact, on it, okay? All right, so there's that. We're going to put some of the snake alcohol in there. Okay. What else do I want to put in there? I feel like I should put something else in there. I'm getting stuff everywhere. You know what? No one ever said this was clean. All right. So put the cap back on this. And we'll put the last two remaining pieces of sulfur matches in there. Sulfur matches. All right. And that's pretty much going to be it. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, if it's a man, you would make legs and the genitalia. Okay. All right, and then what you do is you put the person into the poppet. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I'm not gonna. This was not my real ritual, okay? Because that will be private, and obviously, I have to say the person's name, so that will be left out, obviously. So this is the point where I would tie it off, and I would name this poppet who it is. And I know I didn't put the thorns in the eyes. In the head. Yep. That's alright. Alright, so she is all set. Now, like I said, we will be posting the directions. And obviously you want to make sure there's no holes. Ooh, I heard a child sneeze. Bless you. Alright, so here's our girl. Okay. Isn't she beautiful? So now I would be saying a bunch of stuff. So like I said, again, we will be, yeah, I ran out of wasps. We're not, but there should be good stuff in the gopher dust. That's why I use the gopher dust as a replacement for any kind of stuff like that. But I did use bone dust and snake things and stuff. But yeah, that should be good. That should be good. I gave all my wasps away. Yes, well, so when I get to this point, I make this person who it's supposed to be. So you do come, gods of the inferno, gods of Erebus, aid me in this spell. This is when you turn your gaze to the doll and say, by the powers of night, I name you, blah, blah, blah. You are now, blah, blah, blah. And from this moment on, one shall be irreconcilable from the other. And you repeat that 3 times. Yeah. And then once that is all done, once I put the person into the poppet, yes, we're all covered. Yep. I've been making poppets for a very, very long time. We love our poppets. That's one of our favorite things to make, actually. And I've always had success off of all of my poppets that I've ever made. So it's definitely something that everyone should know how to do. And again, with all spells, you use what you have. If you don't happen to have something, you use something else in its place. So if you see something that's on this list that you don't have, you can use something else that is for your intention. So another thing that we're going to be doing is putting the mirror on the face of the doll. So you don't want this mirror to see your reflection at all. Typically what you would do is if you would be doing this, it would be on a new moon, which it is not, but I need this done stat, so that's why I'm doing it tonight. But you can fill it with the darkness of the new moon and then bring it in and put it right on your poppet, right? And then from then, you take your black candle. Okay, so I'll just read it from the paper at this point. The thorn eyes remain under the cloth to bind the person to the one enacting the curse. Next, take the shard of mirror, which I have little circles, which is perfect. You can get them at the craft shops if they were open. Take the shard of mirror and place it reflection side down onto the doll's face and bind it to the doll with black string. This prevents any divination discovering your identity. For the mirror, make sure as you bind it that your face never appears in the reflection. After that is done, drive in nails, thorns, pins, razors, and any other sharp objects into the poppet, saying exactly what you want them to do, such as, I put poison in your belly as you drive one into the belly of the doll, or I take away your virility as you drive one into the genitalia. You can heat the metal objects in a flame before driving them into the doll, but do so quickly as most of them typically are metal. So they heat up, you know? You don't want to burn yourself. And while you are doing this, the biggest thing, I'm going to make it so you can see me so I'm not like on the Muppets. As long as my phone doesn't fall. Can you see me? Okay. So with all magical workings, your biggest power is your emotions. So while you're doing all these things, obviously I'm on camera right now. I'm not doing the actual ritual for you. as I would do it in private. But you would need to be using your full emotion that you are attaching to any of your workings. So whether it be me in this instance, it will be the cursing emotions. So it would be the anger, the frustration, the how dare you type feelings I would be putting into this. Every time I put something into there, you would be putting that emotion into each sharp object that you stab into your poppet. Yeah. Obviously, if you're doing something like a love poppet or whatever, you're not going to be using these kind of emotions, and that's fine. You adapt to whatever intention you're doing. That's the greatest thing about poppets, is they are so multi-purpose. You can have a poppet for every, we have a poppet for every purpose. Okay. So you channel and amplify your emotions and pour them into the poppet. Make sure that every moment you work with the doll, you see the person as the doll. Visualization is key. When you look at this head, you should see the face of the person, even if it's you. If it's a poppet that's a healing poppet or love poppet, whatever you're trying to do to yourself, you put a picture of or in your head, you put a picture of the person. You don't put one. You visualize that as the person. Once this is done to your satisfaction, you coat it with the black paste and wrap it in black cloth, binding it with string. This represents a death shroud. Be sure to protect the poppet from the light of the sun and seal it with black candle wax. Traditionally, witches would at night take the doll to a graveyard and bury it. However, because this is illegal, we don't recommend that. You can bury it in your own backyard in a sacred space that you hold dear to your heart. You can, in this case, I'm going to be doing it a little bit different. They will be shrouded and they will be hanging and they will have sun touching them. So it really depends on what your working is. Like I said, these two will be bound together and they will be in the cute little fancy chair together in perpetuity. So I guess a little sneak peek as far as next week goes, because I will be doing this all over again. I'll probably end up cutting it open and redoing this whole thing because, like I said, it has to be done with all the emotion. And obviously I'm trying to teach you, so I'm not going to be using that emotion. And you're welcome, by the way. So once, I don't want any of my faces in any of this. Okay. So once you have this on there and it's bound, that's when you can take your candle, your black candle, you can light it, drip a few drops of wax, and then light it and put it, and you can set it outside to let it really sink in that this is the person, all that. Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so that's how to do a poppet. Now, does anyone have any questions? Because, like I said, we will be doing another one, and will be on this next one. I think I'm going to change its binding a little bit, just so it looks a little bit different for next time. But if you have any questions about how to make a poppet, or anything that was done in this video, let us know. You know, if you need any advice on how to make your own poppet, let us know. So for this month, the spell work assignment was the candle lighting for the COVID-19 healing. So maybe next month we'll do it on poppets. And we'll see how everyone created some cool poppets. Because as you can see, it's not that hard. It's not. So the mirror is to protect you from being found out. So you don't want your reflection to be in that mirror at all. Because you're trapping your face in the mirror and they're going to find out. So when you have these pieces of mirror, like I said, you don't want it looking at you. But you can take it. You can go out in a new moon. And you can put it to the blackness and say, with this blackness, you can say something to the effect of, with this blackness, I fill this mirror. Let it be hidden, the identity of me or whatever. And then you can take it directly into your little face guy or girl and wrap it up. So you're protected. It's protection for you. Especially when I know all of you are going to be doing these workings justifiably. So these are going to be workings that, thank you. These, yeah, you'll be able to, I don't even know. I don't even know. That's how quickly I get distracted. But yeah, you need to definitely not get found out. It'll protect you. And it'll be good in the long run. So if anyone has any questions about this at all, just let me know. And like I said, I will post the step-by-steps of what we did tonight for the group. I'll post it in the group. I'm not going to put it in the public eye. I'm sorry. So that's that. If someone that's not in the group needs the step-by-step, let us know. Yes, there you go. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions at all? I do see that I have a message and I just want to check it super fast. Oh. I hope I don't stick my finger in the way. I probably did, didn't I? Okay. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. And that's why the mirror is a wonderful thing. All right. So I guess that concludes tonight's session. So sometime this week, we will be doing the second poppet. You're welcome. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to 100% be pork, but yes, pork is the closest to human flesh. Pigs. They always say that pigs are. But if you obviously, hot dog isn't the most purest of pork products that I could have had. But again, you have to really substitute. If you have to substitute, you got to substitute. And that's just the way it is. As long as your intention is there and, spell work is just that. You're using your words to manifest energies, so keep up the good work, guys. And if there are any other questions, let us know. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's Sunday school session. That was very, very late. Yep. Beautiful. Love it. I hope you guys learned something tonight. And yeah. Also, so the next one, I'm going to be calling a spirit back to the poppet is what's going to happen. Just in case. It was claimed that the ties were cut, but I don't really believe that. But I'm still going to do it anyway. And that is not going to be a Sunday session. I think we'll do that within the next couple days. We'll get a video up and going. So, have a great Sunday, guys. And until next time, stay healthy, stay quarantined, social distancing, all that fun stuff. Bye, everybody. Good night.